There are many games that try to do like Dark Souls, like there's nothing wrong with that. There's also something unique about this game. Lies of P is developed by NeoWiz Games and Around 8 Studios. First time playing Lies of P, I thought it was just another Dark Souls-like game. It is, but there are just more to it following the story. Getting weapons, getting costumes for your character, and overall the story is pretty good. And if you actually listen to the story and actually follow it, it's actually really deep. And I'll give you a rundown how the story starts, what it's about, without really spoiling the whole game. And the game starts off being revived by a blue butterfly, and you're being guided by a voice named Sophia. And she will guide you and help you along the way. And out the game, you will have choices through dialogue and will change how the story progresses and also impact the story heavily. And so pick wisely. Lies of P isn't open world, but it's really straightforward, open gates to shortcuts to get around the area faster. There's items you can find all around the game, like throwable items and ergo, which is like in-game credits to upgrade your character level and choose to make your character stronger. After playing through the beginning part of the game, you will reach a hotel, which is where Sophia is at. This hotel is the main place of the game, and to upgrade weapons, you will also unlock this tree for upgrades and for your Spectre, which is a AI friend that helps you in boss fights, totally optional. And P organs are used to upgrade how many healing cells you have, or getting a dodge in combat, or gain up more slots to increase more of your equipment. When you're going through Lies of P, notice your weapon will decline in its health bar, and you have to sharpen it to get it to a good state. If you avoid it, it will break, it won't be usable. It can be really annoying in boss fights and trying to multitask. In Lies of P, you have to learn how to dodge and parry and really learn the enemy's movement and the moveset to know when to dodge, when to parry at the right time. If you're not perfected, you will take damage, and if you do a normal block, it's still going to take health from you. And once doing a normal block and not a parry, your health bar will decay while it's getting hit, but slowly it goes away. And then you'll get to do a normal slice from your weapon to gain health back, but slowly goes away. So be fast and be efficient. Games like these can be really annoying and really frustrating really fast at times. And my most disliked things about Lies of P is boss fights going out of screen during bosses and having delayed swings when attacking. I know it's part of the Dark Souls I like game, but when you're fighting a boss and you just can't see what is hitting you, then your camera just goes out of bounds, and then everything that's happening around you, you cannot see because your camera is so zoomed in. And I think you're just at a disadvantage because you can't see what's hitting you. And if you're toward the end of a boss fight and his health is really low, you're gonna like, where did this other attack come from? You're gonna be getting hit with some other attacks. You're gonna try to be moving and dodging, and then you're just not gonna see anything come to you, and you're not gonna be able to make that dodge or move or anything because you don't see it and it's out of screen. So that's really, but sometimes you can't see what it's attacking you because it's out of camera. It's so annoying. You will also earn amulets to make your experience more better, like a certain damage will not do as much damage as if you have a amulet equipped. There's also a training area, which is in the hotel, to test your weapons. Each area you go to will have these stargazers, and you will be to reset the area and get health back and upgrades. Each area, if you go to a stargazer, this will, if you select it, you can use this to level up your weapon or do anything upgrades you guys want to do. And basically this resets the whole area, so you get all your health back, you get all your healing cells back, pretty much all the enemies respawn and everything resets. So that's how the stargazer goes. The craziest thing is they added to Lies of P is being able to attach blades to different handles, or handles being attached to different blades. You can really mix and match what handles and what goes what to a blade or a handle. You can make your own weapon with the blades and handles that you earn inside of Lies of P, which is freaking insane. And it gives you really, it's like a Call of Duty loadout, but with your sword. All the handles and blades you earn throughout the Lies of P, you can take those handles, take those blades, and just put them together and see what you like best. As more attacks you do in Lies of P, you will get special attacks, which light up blue bar, and you'll see it on the bottom right of the screen, right next to your sword. And each location you go into Lies of P are very different. There's not a single area that I thought that felt the same area that I've already been to that location before, and it's very different. Once you get toward the end of the game, there is like a location that is similar. You go back to that same location from the beginning, but it's very different, and the environment really is fitting that story. So it's not really like, oh, I've been here before, this is I've been here before and there's nothing new. So it's really cool to see how many different areas this game actually has, and it's pretty insane. Another thing that I liked in Lies of P, its hotel will change through your playthrough and it might get a little messed up. You can also find a nose in this picture frame that will give you, it will grow longer as you play, just like in Elden Ring, just around like how the round table will also change as you play, how it like goes up in flames and it just changes over time as you play, and it goes with the story. Elden Ring, Lies of P really have the same concept, but Elden Ring is open world and Lies of P is just straightforward gameplay. Boss fights have different attacks, normal attacks, and I call them red attacks. Red attacks are super hard attacks that can do a lot of damage if not parried perfectly, or you can quickly dodge out of the way, or you can run, just depends what scenario you're in. So my overall thoughts about Lies of P is I really don't have really opinions. This is just a game trying to be another game, like a Dark Souls light. So there's a lot of games that do this. It's like Elden Ring. It was really inspired by Dark Souls. Elden Ring is probably one of the most badass games I've played in my life, even though there's like some BS moments in there, but that's as expected in a Dark Souls like game, so we all know that. But I think besides Dark Souls, I think Elden Ring really did it the best, and Lies of P is really up there in skill, because if you're not perfecting the parries and the dodging and movement and really precise with your upgrades and your weapons, you're gonna get fucked up in this game. Lies of P is no joke, and you really gotta focus up in this game. And I think it's more harder than Elden Ring. That's how harder it is. As of right now, I enjoyed Elden Ring. I enjoyed the story, and if you play this game, there is multiple dialogue options that will change the story around. You can beat the game multiple times. There's different story endings. There's a boss fight they can get from choosing a different dialogue toward the end of the game. So based on what you pick, it's gonna change what boss you fight at the end, which is pretty cool. In this game, the dialogue actually matters in this game, because if you don't pick the right one, or if you choose the wrong one, or choose to lie or don't lie, whatever you pick, it really affects the story and how it really performs and how it goes. So I think that's pretty cool. So I think the game is pretty fun. It can be really frustrating at times, and I'm pretty sure whoever made Lies of P is gonna be making another sequel to this game, which is gonna be pretty cool. Which I'm not really looking forward to, because I suck at Dark Souls like games. But here I am playing Lies of P. I'm on my second playthrough, and also beat Elden Ring. Then I actually played Dark Souls 3 once, and I beat the first boss within a few tries. So Lies of P, don't expect it to be like Elden Ring or a Dark Souls. It's gonna be Lies of P. It's a totally different game that you need to learn, and it's a really hard game, just like Dark Souls. But there's a lot of other stuff that adds to the game that's really competitive and what makes it Dark Souls, but they twist it around in Lies of P and just make it inefficient and fluid, and it's a really fun game overall. The environment changes, the story, and whatever location you go to next, it really blows your mind. So there's these Legion arms you can get inside of Lies of P. One is a hook, which you can grab onto the enemy. Then you can do a little attack from above, which is actually pretty cool. And we have another Legion arm, which it sprays this toxic weird gas, and it's one of the least favorite ones and one of the weakest ones, because it's kind of pointless. Then we have another one, I call it the Iron Man hand, which is another Legion arm, which it shoots out electricity. This one's all right, but and again, this one's not really my favorite's kind of horrible. Then the next one is my favorite, is the flamethrower on your arm, and I like this one, but it takes a while for flame to get effect on the enemy. It takes a while, but I think it's one of my favorites, one to use overall. So my only problem in Lies of P is the 2-phase boss fights. This is a big issue for me, because when you're trying to focus on the first phase more than the second phase, it gets really stressful, and it gets really obnoxious and annoying when you're trying to focus on the first phase. Then you get to the second phase, you're like, oh crap, I learned so much about the first phase that I forgot about the second phase. I pretty much spent more time on one of the phases instead of both of them, unless you can like master both of them. But the time that takes to get to the second phase is just very annoying. So hopefully Lies of P's next game they produce, or Lies of P2, hopefully they die down all these 2-phase bosses. And I like focusing on one boss only, so I can just study his movement and really get those parries perfected. So instead of doing like 2 phases, we have to worry about both phases. It's very annoying. That is going to be my honest review of Lies of P. Hope you guys really enjoy this, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining